What if I told you India is secretly building 3 weapons so advanced they could shatter the global balance of power? That era of underestimation is over. India is unveiling weapons that don't just rival the United States and China, they could leap ahead. These aren't nukes, they're smarter, deadlier, and far more dangerous. This is the result of decades of relentless ambition, while the world watched Washington and Beijing. The technologies being perfected in Indian labs are revolutionary leaps, targeting air superiority, strategic deterrence, and battlefield dominance. The story begins now. In the high-stakes world of modern air combat, AWACS, the Airborne Warning and Control System, are the eyes, ears and brains of any advanced air force. These massive aircraft, bristling with radar domes and communication arrays, orchestrate the entire aerial battle, tracking enemy movements and guiding friendly fighters with precision. Lose your AWACS and your fighters are flying blind. Coordination collapses, situational awareness vanishes, and defeat becomes almost certain. Without these airborne command centers, even the most advanced jets are left groping in the dark, unable to respond to threats or mount effective attacks. That's why these flying command centers are some of the most heavily protected assets in any air force. Typically operating far from the front lines, surrounded by layers of escort fighters and electronic countermeasures, at least that was the case until now. Enter India's DRDO and their game-changing project, the Astra Mark-3. This is not just another missile, it's a long-range air-to-air weapon, specifically designed to hunt down and destroy the enemy's eye in the sky, shattering their ability to command and control. With a staggering range of 350 kilometers, the Astra Mark-3 outclasses even the best in the world, including the US AIM-120D and China's PL-50. This means Indian pilots can strike from a distance where retaliation is nearly impossible. Indian jets can now launch the Astra Mark-3 from deep within their own airspace, targeting enemy AWACS and high-value assets before the adversary even realizes they're in danger. This extends India's reach and keeps its pilots safer than ever before. The missile's advanced dual-pulse rocket motor gives it sustained speed and maneuverability, while its cutting-edge AESA radar seeker makes it nearly impossible to evade or jam. Even the most sophisticated countermeasures struggle to shake it off. Picture a Chinese KJ-500 AWACS operating under the illusion of safety, suddenly vanishing from the sky, its destruction sending shockwaves through the enemy's entire air operation and plunging their forces into chaos. The Astra Mark-3 doesn't just shoot down planes, it decapitates the enemy's command and control, crippling their entire air force and leaving their pilots without guidance or support. This missile is a true force multiplier, creating a no-fly zone for high-value enemy assets and forcing adversaries to keep their most important aircraft far from the battlefield. For decades, India depended on foreign missile technology, often limited by export restrictions and outdated systems. Now, India is building its own advanced missiles, setting new standards in air combat and signaling a major leap forward for its defense industry. The psychological impact is immense. Adversaries must now rethink every move, knowing their most valuable assets are never truly safe. Every mission becomes a gamble, every sortie a risk. The Astra Mark-3 is more than just a missile. It's a strategic checkmate in the skies, changing the rules of engagement and forcing enemies to play by India's terms. Its threat extends beyond AWACS, targeting tankers, surveillance drones and command aircraft, any platform critical to sustaining air operations. India's quest for air dominance is no longer a distant dream. It's a reality rapidly taking shape, backed by homegrown technology and innovation. With the Astra Mark-3, India gains the power to blind its adversaries and seize control of the aerial battlefield, dictating the tempo and outcome of future conflicts. The balance of power in Asia's skies is shifting dramatically, as India's new capabilities force rivals to reconsider their strategies and investments. The enemy's eyes will be plucked out, leaving them blind, vulnerable, and at the mercy of India's growing air power. The first piece of India's new arsenal is now in place, marking the dawn of a new era in aerial warfare and national defense. If the Astra Mark-3 is the blinding flash that leaves the enemy helpless, then the BrahMos-II is the hammer that smashes through their defenses with unstoppable force. It's not just a missile, it's a statement of intent, a weapon designed to shatter the confidence of any adversary. The BrahMos-II is a next-generation hypersonic cruise missile, developed in close collaboration with Russia, and it's capable of reaching a mind-boggling Mach 8. That's 8 times the speed of sound. At these speeds, the missile becomes a blur, almost impossible to track, let alone intercept. Imagine this. A target 1,000 kilometers away can be struck in under 7 minutes. That's less time than it takes to scramble fighter jets or even issue a proper warning. For any enemy, there's simply no time to react, no window to mount a defense, and no hope of escape. The secret behind this monster is its scramjet engine, a technological marvel that allows stable combustion at hypersonic speeds where ordinary engines would fail. This engine is the heart of the BrahMos-II, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in missile technology. India's successful hypersonic tests, like the HSTDV, prove that it has cracked a code that has eluded most nations. These achievements are not just milestones, they're proof that India is now among the elite few who can master hypersonic flight. The BrahMos-II is virtually unstoppable. Current missile defense systems, even the most advanced, can't reliably track or intercept a maneuvering Mach 8 missile. It can change course mid-flight, making it a nightmare for any defense operator. Picture a Chinese carrier group patrolling the Indian Ocean, confident in its layered defenses, until a BrahMos-II comes screaming in, striking with the force of a meteor. In seconds, the balance of power shifts. The kinetic energy alone at these speeds is enough to cripple or even sink a carrier, even if the missile carried no explosive warhead. The sheer impact is devastating, turning steel into shrapnel. Land-based versions of the BrahMos-II can obliterate command centers, airbases, and other strategic targets deep inside enemy territory, far beyond the front lines. No bunker is safe. This gives India a powerful conventional deterrent, reducing the need for nuclear escalation and providing a credible response to any major threat. It's a game-changer for strategic stability in the region. The BrahMos-II's versatility is unmatched. It can be launched from land, sea, or air. This makes it nearly impossible for any adversary to neutralize all of India's hypersonic capabilities in a single strike. The psychological impact is paralyzing. Adversaries must live in constant fear of a strike they can't see coming and can't stop. Every moment, they know the threat is real and ever-present. India is no longer playing catch-up. With the BrahMos-II, it's aiming for technological overmatch, leapfrogging ahead and setting new standards in missile warfare. The BrahMos-II is more than just a weapon. It's a declaration. The Indian Ocean is India's backyard, and any hostile power that enters does so at its own peril. The message is clear. India will defend its interests, no matter the odds. It's the great equalizer, negating an adversary's numerical superiority and forcing them to think twice before making any aggressive move. No matter how many ships or planes you have, they're all vulnerable to a weapon you can't stop or predict. The BrahMos-II changes the rules of engagement. The BrahMos-II is India's ultimate checkmate in the Indo-Pacific, a weapon that commands respect and reshapes the balance of power. With this missile, India ensures its seat at the table of great powers, influencing decisions and shaping the future of the region. The second piece of India's arsenal is ready. The world is watching, and the message is unmistakable. India has arrived as a true technological and military powerhouse. For decades, the Indian Air Force operated a patchwork fleet of foreign jets, Russian MiGs, French Mirages, British Jaguars, each with its own quirks, spare parts and maintenance needs. This created not just logistical headaches, but also strategic vulnerabilities, as India's air power depended on the whims of foreign suppliers and shifting global politics. But that era is drawing to a close. India is now building its own aerospace empire, determined to chart an independent path in military aviation and become a global leader in advanced fighter technology. At the heart of this transformation is the HAL Tejas, a symbol of Indian ingenuity and ambition. The troubled Mark I, once dismissed as a project plagued by delays, has become the foundation for something far greater, the Tejas Mark-2, a leap forward in design and capability. The Mark II is a medium-weight, highly agile fighter, powered by a cutting-edge US GE F414 engine. It boasts advanced canards for superior maneuverability and state-of-the-art fly-by-wire controls, making it a formidable presence in the skies. It features an indigenous UTM-ESA radar, a sophisticated electronic warfare suite, and a panoramic glass cockpit display, giving pilots unmatched situational awareness and survivability in modern combat. With 11 hardpoints, the Tejas Mark-2 can carry a wide array of weapons: Astra air-to-air missiles, BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles, precision-guided bombs, and more. This makes it a true multi-role platform capable of air superiority, ground attack, and maritime strike missions. The Indian Air Force plans to procure over 200 Mark-IIs, replacing its aging MiG-21S and other legacy aircraft. This will end India's dependence on foreign suppliers and ensure a modern, unified fleet for decades to come. This massive program is creating a self-sustaining aerospace ecosystem, supporting thousands of high-tech jobs, nurturing a new generation of engineers, and fostering a culture of innovation across the country. But the Tejas Mark-II is just the beginning. It's the crucial bridge to the AMCA, India's ambitious fifth-generation stealth fighter designed to take on the world's best. The AMCA will feature advanced stealth shaping, supercruise capability, sensor fusion, and next-generation networking, putting it in the same league as the American F-35 and China's J-20, and giving India a true edge in future air combat. Developing a stealth fighter is a monumental challenge requiring breakthroughs in materials, avionics, and systems integration. But India's pursuit of the AMCA shows the maturity, confidence, and ambition of its defense industry. Together, the Tejas Mark-II and AMCA will give India a formidable 1-2 punch, a reliable workhorse for all missions and a stealthy tip of the spear for air dominance and deterrence. Soon, India will be able to export advanced fighters, offering smaller nations a credible alternative to US, Russian, or Chinese jets. This will expand India's diplomatic influence and strengthen its position as a global defense partner. Imagine Indo-Pacific skies patrolled by Indian fighters, breaking the US-China duopoly in the advanced fighter market and reshaping the balance of power in the region. This is a story of national will, a country refusing to remain a mere consumer of military technology and instead rising to become a creator and exporter of cutting-edge defense systems. Decades of investment, perseverance, and innovation have built an industrial base capable of producing world-class weapons and supporting a thriving defense ecosystem. The Tejas Mark-II and AMCA are more than just fighter jets. They are symbols of India's new reality and its arrival on the world stage as a major aerospace power. These aircraft are India's ticket to the exclusive club of global aerospace powers, standing shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. And the third piece of India's arsenal is almost ready, hinting at even more advanced projects on the horizon. The world's balance of power is shifting rapidly, with new players and alliances emerging every year. And India, with its bold vision and relentless drive, is leading the charge into a new era of aerospace innovation and strategic influence. India's three secret weapons aren't just tools of war. They're symbols of a nation breaking its limits. The Astra Mark-3, BrahMos-II, and Tejas Mark-2 mark the dawn of a new chapter. The future of global warfare may not belong to Washington or Beijing, but to New Delhi. These technologies shift India's posture from defensive to assertive, securing its interests and establishing it as a technological power. The message is clear: India will forge its own path, secured by its own strength. The world is recalculating. A new variable has entered the great power equation. The story of the 21st century may have more authors than we once thought. This is Caspian Insight, and the story has only just begun.